How well versed are you in the financial buyer roadmap to get them into a house? There's some key questions everyone should be asking, and then there's a lot of follow-up questions that are probably even more important. And I'm going to share the roadmap with you next. And if you like what you hear, you get some value out of this, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications. And if you want to schedule a call to talk about your business or getting training like this on a regular basis, you can do that with a link in the comments. So most of us know what LP Mama stands for. It's an acronym around buyer qualification. And according to Zillow, 70% of people who sold a home also bought a home last year. So you really want to understand all this to tap into those two transaction opportunities that are there, because once you help someone buy a home, typically you can get the, I don't want to say easily because I don't believe listings are easy. You're more likely to because you've done a great job on the purchase side. So knowing that's the case, understanding how to navigate the roadmap when there may be a home to sell is going to be really important. So I'm not a big fan in LP Mama of asking, hey, are you pre-approved? That's a horrible question. Instead, I'd be asking, money do you have allotted to put towards the home purchase? That should be a question. Then the next question would be, have you spoken to anybody about the financing? Not are you pre-approved, but have you spoken to anybody about it? It's a great way to find out if they talked to a lender or not. Then the follow-up question you need to find out is if they have a home to sell. I wouldn't be asking, do you have a home to sell? Again, not a great question. Try, hey, just one more thing. I know we're meeting later today to talk about what's going to be important to you. Check out these couple of properties. Most of our clients like a free home equity review. Would you like one? And that's going to flush out if they have a home to sell or not in a really nice way that's adding value. So if they say no and they've been pre-approved and they've got enough cash to put down, great, they're able to purchase a home. If they have a home to sell, there's more. So you need to ask the following questions. So, hey, have you spoken to anybody about if you're going to buy first, if you're going to sell first, and what your preference is? According to Zillow, right around 30% of the people that had a home to sell were able to purchase first rather than get their home sold or have to do everything at the same time. So that's about 1/3, let's call it, of the buyers that are out there. So if they can purchase without selling and they've got the cash to close and they don't have a debt to income ratio issue, then you're in great shape. That's ideal in my view for a lot of home sellers because they know where they're going. They have concrete plans. But if they need the cash from the sale or they've got a debt to income ratio issue, if you don't know what that means, that's because their debt with a new monthly payment is going to exceed the allowable ratios according to Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, then you've got to talk about what the options are. So again, you go down this chart here. If they need the cash from the sale, then the next question is, have you considered a home equity line of credit? Are you able to tap into that equity? Because remember, a debt to income ratio has to do with monthly recurring payments that are related to debt. So that's going to not allow them to get a home equity line because their DTI is still not going to qualify if they use that HELOC. If they don't have a debt to income ratio and their cash is locked up in the home, a HELOC, a home equity line of credit, might be a great option. Some companies and mortgage lenders out there offer bridge loans. So there might be some financing you can tap into there to get to that equity. If they can use that, great. If they can't qualify for a home equity line, then it brings you back to the right side of this chart here. And when your debt to income ratio is too high or you can't qualify to get the equity out of your home, then you've got to look at selling your home first. And selling your home first could mean that you get a leaseback agreement. That's very common. A longer settlement that allows you to go out and find a new home if you're comfortable doing that as a home buyer. Temporary housing, because you want to close, get the money in the bank, and go buy something. Borrow money from a relative. Do you have parents or someone you can lean into to get some of that cash to go out and buy a new home? That might be an option. Or move in with a relative temporarily. The whole point is, these are all the options. And what this chart is going to do for you, it's going to give you a roadmap to answer questions so you can give the best recommendations to clients. In this new era of real estate that we're going into where contracts will be required before showing homes. Having all the options, everything laid out in front of you, what that's going to do, it's going to make you look like the knowledge broker. It's going to show that you have a command of what's required to navigate someone through the buy-sell process. Some of the biggest concerns that home buyers have when there's a property to sell is timing, making it all work, getting their home sold. And when you have these options in front of you and just follow the chart, when you're asking questions, they're going to lead you down the path to what to say next. That's going to help you win more business and guide more people through what's a stressful and challenging transaction.